There have been numerous shocking revelations in the trial between Amber Heard and her ex Johnny, but one that stands out more than many others is the accusation that Amber Heard defecated in Johnny's bed. For the past 3 weeks, as of the making of this video, Team Johnny have presented their case, and we already have a video summarizing how that went. But from Monday, May 2nd, it is Team Amber's turn, and Miss Heard herself will take to the stand and share her side of the story. One of the topics she in all likelihood will have to address is the pooping incident. In order to prep you for that, so you'll be able to instantly spot if something said doesn't quite smell right, we will in this video go through the timeline of known facts about the incident, what has been said in the witness testimonies up to this point, and what Team Amber have responded thus far. Leading up to the incident, in the late hours of April 21st of 2016, Amber Heard and Johnny were both at the location referred to as Penthouse 3, beginning the celebration of Amber's 30th birthday bash. Here, Amber and Johnny engaged in a row, the aftermath of which was witnessed by security detail Starling Jenkins.
And Mr. Jenkins, what happened the next day, April 22nd, 2016?
I arrived early, 10:45. Went upstairs to the penthouse. I was informed by Amber that she got in a fight with Johnny last night. She threw his personal property over the balcony into the streets, 9th and Broadway.
And when you say personal property, what are you referring to?
His phone, wallet, credit cards, passports, everything that's in his wallet.
Did Ms. Heard say anything else to you about this altercation?
Nothing except they were fighting.
So what did you do after Ms. Heard informed you that she had thrown Mr. Depp's personal property off the balcony?
Formulated a plan with Norm from the office to use the Find My Phone app, hit the streets, and try to get lucky.
We are now in the morning of April 22nd of 2016. And while security were out trying to retrieve Johnny's personal belongings, more was going on back at the penthouse. According to a sworn statement from Johnny's estate manager Kevin Murphy, Johnny's housekeeper Hilda Vargas called Mr. Murphy to inform him that human feces had been found on Johnny's side of his and Amber's shared bed. Mrs. Vargas and the rest of the cleaning staff found this to be utterly unacceptable and well beyond anything in their job description. To illustrate this point, Mrs. Vargas took a picture of the offending pile and sent it to Mr. Murphy. Here it should be noted that Johnny was out of town at this point, so it was immediately obvious that he could not have been the, shall we say, source of the pile. Amber Heard and her entourage, however, were there, so it had to have been either Amber herself or one of the gals in her entourage that had gone about their morning business. Since Mr. Murphy, the estate manager, wasn't with Johnny at the time, he forwarded the picture and a summary of the situation to someone who was. Namely, Johnny's security guard Sean Bett, so he could raise the matter. Security guard Sean Bett was by then well aware of Amber's, shall we say, sometimes challenging personality, having witnessed many past examples of it.
At any point during Ms. Heard's and Mr. Depp's relationship, did you ever see any injuries on Ms. Heard?
No.
How about on Mr. Depp?
Yes.
When did you observe injuries on Mr. Depp?
The first time would have been around 2014, I guess, in which he had his finger was damaged from an incident in Australia.
You've never seen Amber do something that you would call physically violent or an assault of Mr. Depp, correct?
Other than when I testified that she threw a water bottle or a plastic cup in his direction.
But that, you wouldn't consider that physically violent or an assault of him, correct?
Well, in California, it's assault if you go to attempt to swing or throw something at somebody, even if you don't hit them.
At this point in time, Johnny was starting to have had his fill, which could very well have contributed towards Amber Heard going off on April 21st to begin with. Knowing that Amber was scheduled to leave Penthouse 3 for her continued birthday celebrations in Coachella the next couple of days, Johnny wanted to go back to retrieve some select possessions. Which is understandable, seeing as Amber had already shown she was quite willing to throw his personal belongings from the balcony. Security guard Mr. Bett, however, then informed Johnny of what had happened, after which Johnny stayed away from Amber for the next few weeks.
Mr. Depp, after April 21st, 2016, when was the next time that you actually saw Miss Heard in person?
I left Miss Heard, I left Penthouse 3. I left at 4:30 in the morning. It was actually her birthday. It was 4:30 in the morning, April 22nd. And that's when I left. And from that moment on, I did not see Ms. Heard until May 21st.
And why was that?
I had received some news that was as absurd and grotesque and cruel. And then I was shown a picture of what the problem was. I had gone to Mr. Bett and said, she's at Coachella. I think it's a good time to go downtown so that I can get some of my things, and get them out of there, especially the things that were precious to me, children things from friends, Brando, Hunter, Thompson, whatever, things that were important to me. And he said, I don't think now's a good time to go. And I thought, it's the perfect time. She's not going to be home for 2 days. And then he showed me a photograph on his telephone of...
Objection, Your Honor. Also hearsay.
Note that the photograph in question was in the end not shown. Do keep it in mind though, as we'll get back to it. Meanwhile, here is an artist rendering of what happened. With that, let's continue with Johnny's testimony.
What was the photograph of, Mr. Depp?
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed, and on my side of the bed was human fecal matter. So I understood why it wasn't a good time to go down there. My initial response to that was, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh. So I did not go down there that day.
Someone who was down there that day, though, was the aforementioned Mr. Starling Jenkins, who had security detail on Amber and accompanied her to Coachella. Let's see what he had to say.
And did you have any discussions with Miss Heard on the way to Coachella that evening?
We had a conversation pertaining to the surprise she left in the boss's bed prior to leaving the apartment.
And when you refer to the surprise in the boss's bed, what are you referring to?
The defecation.
And what did Miss Heard say about the defecation in Mr. Depp's bed?
A horrible practical joke gone wrong.
A prank gone wrong. I'm sure Amber will be asked about the nature of that prank when she takes the stand. During this time, Johnny's mother was dying, and when she passed a few weeks later, he informed Amber that he was filing for a divorce. She, however, wanted to talk things over.
Live with, so I went over there to have a discussion, what I thought would be calm understanding. I figured she understood as well as I did that there was no way back, and I also felt that she would understand that it was the best thing for both of us, and there were no, there was nothing to, there should have been nothing to fight over. It was clear. I told her that I would take care of her and all that, and then she started to, she was telling me about the, she brought up the situation of the fecal matter on the bed, and I and she tried to blame it on the dogs. But
why didn't you think it could have been the dogs?
The dogs weigh, they're teacup Yorkies. They weigh about 4 pounds each. The photograph that I saw, and I mean, I lived with those dogs for many years, and so did Hilda Vargas. She's a woman who's been with me for 30 plus years, from the very beginning, and she was the one who photographed it. It was clear she knew the dogs as well as I did, and none of that did not come from a dog.
Team Amber would continue to blame the dogs. That has continued to be their story, even though the pile in the picture was practically bigger than the dogs. In the much later UK trial, we learned that Amber in the aftermath of this exploded at housekeeper Hilda Vargas, as she was the one who took the picture, which Amber reportedly claimed is what directly led to the end of her and Johnny's marriage. Being submitted as evidence in that UK trial, the picture was also leaked online. Now, we won't show the picture here, because it's just too gross, but to add some levity to the proceedings. Here is the moment when the ladies of our weekly Toxic Femininity panel learned that there not only exists a picture of Amber's turd, but that it can be found online.
Before we move on, Annibal asks, that photo got leaked? And the answer is yes, that photo really got leaked. So if you want to see the offending thing and you search for it, yes, it's right there on the internet.
Oh my god, I had no idea it was
She needs to go to the doctor.
Yeah, I mean,
I will say this, the reason that they even took that picture was because apparently there were like two mates doing the cleaning. It was like the young one that found it, and she apparently got like PTSD afterwards, and then it was like the older one that took the picture because like this is unbelievable, and we can't.
Like this is where I draw my line. Like, I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I'm gonna have to look.
No,
I know it's out there.
Don't accidentally put it on screen though.
Yes, we have like the not some kid things, but if we really wanted to, we could show the real thing.
Yeah, no, we
would never do that to our audience.
Is that a T-shirt or not?
I will say that this picture is far more tasteful than the real thing.
That's a gross underestimate.
What was that, Cameron? I didn't hear what he said.
I said this picture captures the steam still coming off of it.
I could draw a little steam
I didn't even notice that.
as well. So what's your take on this as an art critic?
I think this is fun. I think, I can tell it's a bed. I can tell that there's a mass of it. She looks really proud and, decided on the fact that it's happening. I love the backwards E. I love how the S looks like a little smiley face. I'm liking everything about this.
An artist captured those elements, yes.
I think it's perfect. I think it's a big t-shirt. I'd buy it. I'd wear it.
Naturally, we made that shirt. It is very comfortable, comes in multiple sizes for both men and women, and we have been told it's a great conversation starter, as well as a way of showing the world where you stand. It is, however, only available for a limited time longer, so get yours now by following the link in the description or pinned comment. With that, now that you know the full story, what do you think Amber will say when she takes the stand? Was she justified in doing what she did? Or could it really, through some fluke of nature, have been the dogs all along? Let me know your thoughts on the matter in the comments.